Yes, people, hope everyone's good. We're back with another 620 podcast. Obviously, your favorite Gooner as usual. Happy as usual. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm here with man like Matt. We telling my bro, you're good, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, as good as I can be.
I hear that still. Obviously, going through some tough times, bro. But we'll start with the predictions. Obviously, if you guys have been tuning into the previous episodes, you know that obviously 3 points for a correct result. I mean, correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result. Matt's been in the lead. I think he's leading by 6 at the moment. But
I
we're
thought it
hoping
was nine.
today. Is it 9 now?
I think it was nine, bro.
Um, yeah, actually, it is 9. It is 9. But we're hoping to cut things down today, people. Yeah, we're hoping to cut things down today. So let's see. Let's see. Let's start. Obviously, City and Fulham. That was our first prediction. Obviously, we know that City got the win. We'll delve into that into a sec. But yeah, City beat Fulham 2-1. They went down to 10 men. But Haaland managed to grab that controversial penalty. I would say De Bruyne went down kind of easily. I can't lie. When I saw it, I've definitely seen them not given. But end of the day, contact was made in an intense time of the game like that. Most majority of players are gonna go down there to try and get the 3 points. But you said City 3-1. I said City 2-0. So we was both close to getting the correct result. But unfortunately, I mean, yeah, the correct result, the correct score. Sorry, but fortunately we got the same result. So City, I said City 2-0. You said City 3-1. Both got a point there. Calm, collected. Arsenal, Chelsea. I told you not to doubt the Gunners, my bro. I told you that we got this. Yeah, yeah. We turned up to Stamford Bridge, and you would have thought it was the Emirates on my mum's. But yeah, you said Arsenal, Chelsea 2-2. I said 3-1. Obviously, there wasn't that many goals in the game, but I got the correct result. Lovely stuff. Take the point. 8 points behind. Villa United. I said to you, bro, Unai Emery is gonna come and he's gonna do a masterclass because he knows how to handle United and he's got a better team now. In my opinion, I think Aston Villa have better man to man, a better team than Villarreal. So I was not surprised by this. You said 2-0 United. I said you're smoking crack. I said 2 on Villa. If it wasn't for you lot not tracking runners or not conceding that free kick, I would have had a nice 2-1 there. But you know what? I'll take it. Got the point. So now I'm what 7 points behind.
Yeah.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I was off. By one. Yeah, I would have caught you up, my guy. And obviously the last one was Spurs Liverpool. You said 2-2. I said Liverpool 3-0. We all know it was 2-1 in the end. So again, I got the result, not the score, for another point, which leaves me on 6 points behind you now. So I'm catching up, my guy. I want you to have more weekends like this, so that I can overtake man for my credibility ratings. But now, obviously, we'll glide over City real quick. I'm not gonna say a routine win this time. They needed that penalty. Obviously, I know they went down to 10 men. I don't know if you watched the game. Cancelo got sent off. Did you think that was a sending off for Cancelo? Do you think it was a bit harsh or?
Initially in real time, I thought it was a bit harsh, just because I
Mm,
didn't see whether he nudged him in the back or whether it was in the shoulder to shoulder. But on the replay, you can see that he's clearly nudged him in the back. And to be fair, I think I've spoken before on here about sort of Cancelo's high risk method of defending. And I think if he just composed himself a little bit there, um, I don't actually think Wilson would have scored because Edison was coming out quickly. The first touch wasn't particularly great. He was going onto his right foot as well, so which is his weaker foot. So, but I guess in the heat of the moment, Cancelo made the right decision. And to be fair, City were comfortable before that. Like that was pretty much Fulham's sort of first like semi decent attack, and it even came out of sort of a ricochet of the ball between. I think it hit somebody else, then it managed to just fall to Vinicius's feet, and then he played Wilson in through. But before that, City were looking fairly comfortable. It was looking like they weren't probably going to need Haaland to even come on,
yeah,
and
that's
then
what confused me though, because like Cancelo must know that you're going against a Fulham side where you're going to dominate. You can have plenty of chances. Why do you feel the need to be rash? and risk that. Still understand. I rather let the players shoot. If he scores, he scores. But realistically, we know that City are gonna go get 2, 3 more goals.
Yeah, and to be fair, you can see that like when he was coming off the pitch and he sort of tried to plead his case to Pep. You can see that Pep wasn't having it at all. Like Pep wasn't happy with him at all. But obviously when City went out to 10 men, I thought they're at home, and I've seen City do this before. Even though against Copenhagen they didn't manage to score, but I've seen them be able to control the game with 10 men. Now,
Mm,
although they weren't able to create that many chances, because one thing about playing with 10 men is because the other team have a man more than
mm.
you, although they were keeping the ball, they didn't want to like sort of play too many risky or commit too many players forward at times, because they know that Fulham can easily just catch them on the counter if they lose the ball in the wrong area. So they were still trying their best, trying as much as possible to keep the ball, look threatening, but also still sort of maintain a discipline positionally. But obviously, as the game continued to go on, they sort of had to push a little bit, and that's what bringing on the likes of Foden and Haaland did for them. And eventually, they got the penalty. Like you said, it was slightly controversial, but what De Bruyne did, he bought it, and what he did
Yeah, he
was,
bought it. Yeah, he bought
as
it.
soon as the contact, as soon as he felt it, he dropped.
Dropped, bro.
Other players I've seen, like especially guys like Mo Salah, Salah will feel the contact and try to stay on his feet, and then when he's lost the ball, he'll try and claim for the penalty. But sometimes with these refs, you have to fall over. And to be fair, he got the penalty. Haaland, as the funny thing is about that pen, yeah,
It was a poor
as he was,
pen.
as he,
It was a poor pen.
yeah, as he was about to take it, I was thinking this is probably his biggest moment, like in a City shirt. Yeah, I thought obviously the Liverpool game is probably his biggest game for City, but the moment was actually his biggest moment. And bro, he looked nervous. Like, did you see him when he was putting the ball on the spot? He adjusted the ball like 3 or 4 times. I was thinking, yo, he's gonna miss this pen, and then he took it, and I was like, oh, that was a shocking penalty. But Le-
Yeah, Leno
Leno
dived
let it
over it.
slip.
He dived over it.
Yeah, Leno let it slip, man.
He
He
didn't
should have saved
anticipate it
it.
to stay on the ground like that.
Yeah,
Um,
he should have saved it, but the ball went in
he
the
got yeah,
net.
he got a touch to it, but end of the day, the ball goes in the back of the net. City go top of the league for a few hours until obviously the London derby, Arsenal Chelsea occurred. We'll hop into that in a sec. But yeah, we'll talk about the United United Villa game. Obviously, Unai Emery's debut, taking charge of Aston Villa. I did think he was going to get the win. He's a good manager, and Villa have good players. They have talent. But again, it also shows me that these guys wanted Gerrard out, because if you can work hard and put in performance like that at home against a United team who was unbeaten in 9, there was kind of a indignation that yeah, they weren't putting it all in for Gerrard. See with that, or Emery is just a genius, but it's only been one game, so I can't turn around and say he's done bits. So for me, I feel like the Villa players, they didn't want Gerrard in charge. I don't think they agreed with his tactics and his ethos. Because now, if I'm a Villa fan, I'm expecting that type of performance at least 3, 4 times a month, and they haven't been getting that. Um, and they literally, I know there was quite a heavy loss that they suffered before the United game as well. So what's your obviously I know you're a United fan, so we'll get to United in a sec. But what's your take on Emery taking charge and the Aston Villa players responding?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken about Villa's lack of balance in the team, and from as soon as I saw the starting lineup and I saw the formation that you put out, immediately I thought, yeah, he's trying to find a balance, because that's what you have to do. So he had to pick between Ings and Watkins to start. He figured he can't start both of them. Pick one of them, put 2 players out wide. He put Buendia on the left, put Bailey on the right. Although sometimes they were interchanging. Put he started Dendonker and Dendonker, Ramsey and Louise in midfield. Put McGinn on the bench. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, he's trying to find a balance. And that's one of the most important things that a team, especially a team that isn't blessed with sort of like, well-renowned sort of world-class players, you need to have balance in the team. And if Emery can find that with this set of players, then he'd be all right. He could probably, at this point, I'd probably say a mid-table finish, maybe, between that sort of 10th to 12th place would be a decent season for him, a decent sort of like, decent 8 months for him. So yeah.
I can see Emery having higher aspirations though. I can see him wanting. It's gonna sound absurd, but I can see him wanting that Conference League spot. I feel like when he went into that dressing room, he would have said that that's his target for the season, and he would. The Villa players shouldn't respond thinking, "Nah, that's a bit out of reach," because they have the quality there. It's just now about finding that right, as you said, that balance, being consistent and trusting the manager and working hard for him. Obviously, now a lot of players now are going to be wanting to earn their position, so they probably will be putting in a bit more in matches and in training, which is only natural. But then the question is, how long does it last for? Obviously, they have different tests. They were at home. I'm thinking if they went to Old Trafford, that game, 75% likely would have had a different outcome. But we can't fault Villa on the day they got the 2 goals early. And I noticed with United when they either United either absolutely batter the game, control it, do bits, or they concede early and are having to chase. I've noticed that. I haven't seen one game where United are like a goal down or it's 0-0 for a while and they're really in the game. United are either out the game and having to chase back or they're just busting it. Would you agree or would you say that's incorrect?
I mean, it depends because I'd say against West Ham, it was pretty even. The game was pretty much a 50-50 game until we scored the goal. In fact, I'll probably even go as far as to say that at the time that we scored against West Ham, they were probably playing slightly better than us. So I mean, yesterday was just, yeah, it was just bad. I've seen a lot of people online giving Lindelof a lot of slack for the first and the third goal. I think with the first one, obviously he's gone out to try and sort of win the ball back off Watkins, but Watkins has held him off well and has passed it into I think it was Buendia or someone, and then he's passed it into Bailey. But what I would say is, although Lindelof has been dragged out of position, I think Martinez has to realize that Lindelof isn't there quicker and he has to drop quicker. I feel like he was a bit too sort of late to drop, and that's why Bailey had the run on him. And then with the third goal, I just think I don't know. I don't think he's done too much wrong. As much as he didn't engage with Watkins, he showed him onto his weak foot down the line. Watkins has pulled. He's almost crossed a hit and hope cross. I don't think Watkins actually saw Ramsey running into the box. He's just put it into a dangerous area, and unfortunately, none of our defenders sort of read the cross well enough to check back and clear it away. So that third goal killed us. I think getting the goal before halftime was key. The way we started the second half wasn't particularly great, considering we managed to get a goal back before halftime. Um,
I genuinely thought you guys were coming back once you got that goal from Shaw.
yeah,
Um,
I
Logan Junior.
yeah, I kind of did, but I can't lie, bro. Like our attack is still not there, and when Ronaldo, Garnacho, and Rashford, with Rashford on the right, Garnacho is still young, and although like we scored against Sociedad and that, he's still very raw. He's
I
not.
think it was a bit of a risk to play him. I mean, I heard a couple of United fans say that that was probably a game for Elanga. What would you say? Would you have chose Ganacho over Elanga or would you chose Elanga? Because we know that Sancho and Anthony are out right now.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Garnacho start, even though I wouldn't want to start Elanga, but Elanga has more sort of first team experience than Garnacho.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I probably would have started Elanga, especially if that meant that Rashford would have started the game on the left, because I really don't like Rashford on the right too much. Um,
Yeah,
Obviously
no.
Ronaldo was captain.
Surprised. I was
Uh,
surprised about that. Was you surprised that he was captain?
no, because Bruno was suspended, and I didn't really think there was anyone else starting that Ten Hag would have probably made. Maybe De Gea, actually. Yeah, maybe De Gea. Yeah,
I thought it would have been De Gea.
yeah. You know what? Yeah, maybe, but Ronaldo was not really in the game like that. I mean, he had one chance which I felt he could have done better with, but overall he wasn't really in the game. I felt like the service wasn't great either. But yeah, man, it was just a poor performance. Ericsson, ever since his return from illness, Ericsson has looked off the pace. Donny van der Beek, although he wasn't
Yo, Van der
bad,
Beek's been getting stick online.
the problem is Van der Beek wasn't bad yesterday, but my thing with him is he is a positionless player. Like Van der Beek doesn't have a position, and I don't think we're in a state where we can sort of afford to have players like that. Like we're not at that level yet. In fact, I think only City could really accommodate Van der Beek. I don't even think he could play with you guys. I don't see where he would play for an Arsenal. I don't see where he'd play for a Liverpool. I don't see where he'd play for. He definitely wouldn't play for Tottenham, and I don't see where he'd play for Chelsea either. He's just because he's not a.
What is his role though? What does Van der Beek bring you?
So this is the thing with him. Yeah, at Ajax, I've gone back to look at some of the positions he's played, some of the formations that they did, and the positions he played during that 18-19 season where they went to the semi-final.
Mm.
And he played in the 10 in a lot of those games. But the problem with those Ajax teams, or it's not a problem, but the sort of thing with those Ajax teams was even though he was in the 10, he almost didn't have to do the sort of things that a normal 10 would do on the ball because he had players like Ziyech and Tadic who one could argue are more 10s than he is, or especially on the ball. Like Tadic on the ball pretty much does what a 10 does. So therefore, Van der Beek in that position with those players around him, he could afford to do what he's best at, which in my opinion is running. He almost just ghosts into spaces and pulls defenders out of positions with his runs. And that's how he was able to get himself in position to score goals for Ajax. That's his best attribute is running into spaces, dragging defenders out of position, and when he is in goal scoring opportunities at Ajax, he proved that he has the ability to finish in them positions. So, but the problem is with the way we have been playing, we need a 10 that can get the ball. We need a 10 that can hold the ball, that can sort of do what Odegaard does by knitting the play together. But I don't think he has that sort of quality on the ball. He's not a dead ball specialist either. He can't really switch play. Like he can't do cross-field balls. He's not really the type to do defense splitting passes. He's not a dribbler. He's not a ball carrier. So, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Sounds like a Spurs
I
player to me.
but where would he play for Spurs?
I don't know. You used to saying he can't dribble, can't pass. So
No, no, not
Sound-
that not that he can't. He's just not gonna do incisive passes. So yeah, like he's a tidy player. He's decent technically, but I just don't
Is he
know
though?
where.
Because I'm yet. What has it been? How long has he been at the club now? 2 years or three?
He came in what 2021.
I've I've not yet seen or heard this guy have a good game. Junior Watson said, "Cali, when was the last time Arsenal beat United? Last season, 3-1 at the Emirates." Yeah, that's I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him like I haven't seen him in the news for the right reasons. You get me?
Yeah.
And surely yesterday's game made you realize how integral Bruno Fernandes is. He's
Uh,
that player that would take those risks.
no, no, I wouldn't even say so because we generally didn't do well in keeping the ball, and to be fair, Bruno doesn't exactly help with that. So I don't I actually thought that Ten Hag would have played Fred and moved Ericsson into the 10. I thought that would have been sort of a
Yeah,
more
Ericsson needs to play
viable thing
10, bro. Man
to
can't
do.
be playing him in that deep line. He's not. I don't think he's comfortable there.
I mean, he plays Ericsson there because Ericsson can get the ball to the forward players. But I just thought with Bruno out, he would play Ericsson in the 10 and then play Fred next to
Should have been Fred and
Casemiro.
Cass. For me, it would should
Yeah.
have been Fred and Cass or McTominay and Cass, and and then yeah, Ericsson in that middle. Junior Watson said, "Have you beat us this season, bro? If you're gonna keep asking obvious questions, then your comments are just gonna get skipped. Don't worry about Arsenal. Yeah, worry about Aston Villa and worry about teams circling around your fifth, sixth place in the league. Yeah, don't come for the team that's top of the league, bro. We're leading your way right now. You get me? But no, I understand that. I understand that. Obviously, disappointing result. Unai Emery masterclass. Obviously, you guys got you got Villa again on Thursday. I believe it's at Old Trafford though. Carabao Cup, so it could be a rotation. I don't think Ten Hag is going to be too concerned about his team performing in the Carabao Cup. So, are you expecting to see a lot of changes, or do you think he's going to go for it and go for the win and try to get revenge because of the league?
Well, the problem is we pretty much played an identical 11 yesterday that we played against Real Sociedad on Thursday. So I'd be very surprised if about 5, 6 of those players are in the starting lineup on Thursday. I expect to see a rotation. I know obviously we just lost to them and stuff, but it's not like if we were to beat them, I wouldn't say, oh, we got our revenge. Like I wouldn't consider it as that because I expect us to beat them anyway.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I do expect to see some players rotated. Maybe some players who haven't, maybe someone like Martial who's still trying to get some match fitness. Maybe he could start, maybe, but then also he may not start because Ten Hag may not want to risk him. I can see Alanga starting. Um, I can see if Wan-Bissaka is fit, he probably would start.
You
Uh,
reckon?
yeah, probably. Um, Maybe Malacia might come in. Even maybe we might even rotate the goalkeeper. Dubravka was on the bench on
Lukaku is a good keeper still.
there. Yeah, so he probably will come in. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I just
I'd expect to see some changes, and I think it's only fair to give some other players some chances because I've not seen Wan-Bissaka this season at all. I know Dalot's been doing all right, but I haven't seen one feature at all. I'm even hearing that he's been linked back to a loan move to Crystal Palace. Um, I would like to see Alanga. I'm a fan of Alanga. I think he gets a bit of harsh stick. Say that
wait.
he's
You're a
young
fan of
and
Elanga?
yeah, I like Alanga still.
Why?
I just think he's direct. Um, you see what he wants to do in it. I just think he needs developing. I think Ten Hag can develop him. I like Alanga. I think he's got potential.
I don't know if you've watched enough of him, bro. Honestly,
I think you guys are harsh on him. I think he's got potential. Um, so I would like to see Alanga. I would like to see Ronaldo again. I feel like he needs to get some goals on him just to stop all this narrative against him.
I don't
Because
think it's
again,
a narrative anymore. I think it's starting to become the
but I'm
reality.
hearing everyone turn around and say, "Oh, he's old, he's stiff, he can't turn, needs WD-40 on his hips and all that." But you knew what the package was when you're signing a 36-year-old.
But yeah, you're the one that's clamoring for him to start every week.
Yeah, because he's a goal scorer. But if you don't feed him, he's not going to score. Man,
So,
who's if Bruno Fernandes is not on that pitch, who's even providing for him? Because we all know Garnacho is not. We all know Rashford's not. We all know Van der Beek's not.
well, to be fair, he did get a good chance yesterday that he probably should do way better with.
He had one chance.
Yeah, but
Even Haaland for City is having 7, 8 chances a game and scoring 2, 3.
yeah, but that's Manchester City though.
Well, no, but I'm just saying that if if Haaland was in that United squad, he probably wouldn't even have half the goals he has now
Yeah,
because
he's not
United lacked
gonna.
the creativity, and then you guys
He's not.
blame the striker. It was the
You
same
no,
with
but
Lukaku. It was the exact same with Lukaku.
no, but Lukaku couldn't run.
Ronaldo can't run.
No, but Ronaldo can run in short little bursts. Lukaku couldn't really do anything. Lukaku was forced to play against his sort of his natural way of playing. Like again, he was forced to play an alternate. He was sorry, Lukaku was forced to play in a way that opposed the way that he played to succeed at Everton. But
But for me, Lukaku
but nah,
has been your best striker in the last 5 years.
I mean, that's not saying much.
I'm just saying. And again, he didn't get much service.
No, but this is the thing. You talk about service, and there is a point there. But I mean, usually, if a striker can get one sort of big clear cut chance in a game every single game, that's not bad. It's not the worst thing in the world.
No, I hear that. I hear that. But again, for me, I just feel like if Ronaldo was getting those chances, it's a different story. Because the thing about Ronaldo is like last season, he does nothing but score, but this season he's doing nothing and he's not scoring, so it looks 100 times worse. But when you're bagging in goals, everyone's quiet. That's just how the game is. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens on Thursday at Old Trafford. Obviously with the World Cup break coming into mind and Saturday and Sunday being the last games in the Prem, I reckon quite a few teams won't be worrying about fatigue because they know that big breaks coming in and they will play stronger sides in this cup. Quite a few games going on actually. Um, on Wednesday, Arsenal got Brighton at home. Liverpool are at home to Derby. Manchester City are at home to Chelsea. It's an interesting one. Nottingham Forest are at home to Tottenham. And obviously, as we've been discussing, United are against Villa at home. So yeah, it's a couple interesting ones. Forest and Tottenham will be interesting. City and Chelsea will also be interesting, apart from the Villa game. But yeah, yeah. Obviously, we'll go into predictions a bit later on with those fixtures there. Junior says you're leading, but not for long. When we overtake, yeah, when you overtake, then you can talk, bro. But for now, sit down and be quiet. You get me? Sit there, pretty in Europa League. Get me? We're top of the league. We're top. No, I'm joking. But yeah, um, talking about top of the league, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. The London derby. But I'll be real, bro. It didn't even feel like a derby, man. That it was such an awful game of football. Um, even the goal was just that's probably the worst goal we've scored this season. Like it was terrible. The game obviously we dominated the game. We should have won 3-4 nil. Jesus header should have scored. Erdegaard pretty much empty net from outside the box. Just needed a bit more composure. So yeah, we could have put that game to bed. Chelsea, I know they got a lot of injuries right now, so I understand. And obviously they're going through the transition of Potter. But I gotta be real, man. It was poor, bro. I've never seen a Chelsea team like this. Like, this is 4 wins in a row, by the way. Arsenal have come to Stamford Bridge. That's our ground now. Any Chelsea fans, that's we own. We own the bridge. You man gotta pay entry fees to us now, because yeah, it's peak. Yo, every time you wanna get smoked, whether we're in form, out of form, you man are getting smoked. I remember when we lost 8 games in a row in Arteta's first season, and it was the Christmas period, and I was calling for this guy to get sacked. We go to the bridge, and we win 3-1. Last season, we just lost 3 games in a row. We go to the bridge, we win 4-2. I'm like, yo, listen, we need the bridge. Give us the bridge every week, man. Give us the bridge every weekend, bro. We'll be top of the league every time, I swear. But yeah, Chelsea were flat. Potter though, I understand you got a few injuries, but just the squad selection was mind baffling. He needs to stop. Loftus Cheek, just stop it, please. Mason Mount, ghost. He was a defender. Thiago Silva, 38. The guy man a free, and he's been their best player, bro. And he's gonna spent P. Pulisic, back to the MLS, my guy. Havertz, bro, you're looking like a scam at the moment. Sterling was the only player I thought that was actually trying to make things happen, and that was doing something. No, he was. Sterling was the only player
No,
that was actually
no, he
trying to make
wasn't.
things happen. Even though
No, he wasn't.
he's been playing wing back.
That
He
was
played he played
that,
a more
that might have,
attacking role on Sunday. Huh?
that might have been his worst game that he's had in the Chelsea shirt so far.
Bro, maybe that's you think that's his worst game, but for me, it might be in his worst game, but for me, he was the only player in that Chelsea team that actually tried to make things happen or run at players. Everyone else
Nah,
was terrible.
no, bro, he was bad. He was horrible.
But what do you count
Nah,
as bad? Because he didn't get a chance to have a shot. He
nah,
as I said, he did try and make things happen, but he wasn't getting nothing. The balls were not the midfield. Chelsea's midfield. I don't think they strung 5 passes together.
You know what I would say? As a team, collectively, they were terrible. In fact, the only player that I think in the starting 11, the only player that could come away, in my opinion, with a bit of sort of not pride, but just like not having, I didn't think they were terrible, was probably
Silva,
Jorginho, and that's
Jorginho.
yeah, and that's more what he did off the ball. I thought at times, like he was helping his fullbacks a lot of the time in their isolation situations, and he did well to win the ball back and cut out um several passes in midfield. But on the ball, he was on the ball. Chelsea yesterday, no one ever gave their teammate an option when they had the ball. Like even
You see
I
the
was
habits,
telling
man.
someone yesterday that I thought Cucurella did a good job on Saka defensively, but on the ball, I think he gave the ball away every single time he had it. Like that sums up the whole team. Like nobody could find a pass. Aubameyang, I think, had 8 touches, and I think he completed 3 passes.
Yeah, 3 out of 5.
Bro, it was
But to be
horrible.
but to be fair
Like
to Aubameyang, he had no service at all, and there was a chance in the first half, and Havertz just ran into the box, and he could have just cut it back. All he had to do is look up and cut it back to Orba, and he's blasted over the crossbar. I don't understand what this guy's doing. Like that was
nah,
horrendous.
but
From when that
even
happened, from when that
even
happened, I was like, yeah, this game's in our pocket. I can't lie.
no, but even Aubameyang though, he didn't want the smoke in the middle. Like he was running from Gabriel and Saliba. Like he was trying to drift out wide to get more space. He didn't want the smoke. He did not want he didn't want to engage with them too.
All right, all
Um
I, all I can say is, Orba, it's nothing personal, my guy. You just chose the wrong team in London. You get me? You're back. You're blue. You're definitely blue now because you're balling. But yeah, man, we'll sit comfy top of the table. You carry on doing your cheeky BT Sports adverts, innit? You do your thing, my guy. Get me? Because that was your best highlight of the game. Your BT advert was your best highlight. So yeah, talk about that. But I got anyway. Let me go back to Potter real quick because I got smoked for Potter still. You know, remember the other day when I was telling you Eddie, I rate Eddie Howe better, and I think Eddie Howe
yeah.
is the best British manager. Yeah, Potter's gonna get exposed at Chelsea, man. Why are you choosing Aspilicueta right back
He has
against
no choice.
against Martinelli?
He
Why
has no choice.
he does have a choice, bro. He does
Who
have
else?
you alter the formation. You go free at the back. You don't risk that 1-on-1. You get wing
But he's
backs
but
and you
all
get
right,
that
so
right centre back to drag out. Secondly,
let wait,
secondly,
hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me
wait.
wait, hold on,
Secondly,
hold
yeah.
on. No,
Hold on.
go
Secondly,
on, go on,
secondly,
go on.
you got what's his name? Zakira, whatever. That DM.
Okay, yeah. The
Bro,
career.
he just had a you haven't featured him at all. He finally features, scores a goal in the debut. I think there was a rumor of him picking up a knock or picking up an injury. Well, if not, why is he not playing? Because Chelsea are in need of that presence in that defensive midfield because Jorginho doesn't have that part A presence, and I think Zachariah would have been the closest thing to it. But yeah, also you said you was gonna have your point. What was you gonna say?
All right, so first of all, obviously we know he's got defensive injuries. So if he had switched to a 5 at the back, he doesn't have the cover at centre back to play a 5 at the back. He doesn't have it. That's why do you think he would play Thiago and Chaloba as his back two if he had defensive options? He
I think
doesn't.
Silva. I think Silva starts. Silva's been their best defender.
No. But do you think he would play Thiago Silva and
Chalobah.
Chalobah as
But you could
in the
argue
back
and say
two?
that's only Chalobah's second loss of him starting a game.
No. But I'm saying if everyone is fit, would he play Thiago Silva and Chalobah in the back two? He wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it would have been Koulibaly, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he has to play Aspilicueta. And secondly, let's be real, bro. Martinelli wasn't amazing yesterday. There wasn't a lot of times he beat Aspilicueta. Him and Saka weren't great yesterday, bro. Like
No, they
I
weren't. They
need
weren't. They weren't at their
like
best
I
yesterday.
yeah,
Our our attackers our attackers were quite poor yesterday, but midfield and defense we dominated.
yeah, like because I don't like it when people get sort of carried away when it comes to like they use the result to judge the performance, or they use the sort of the matchup on paper to sort of judge how the performance went, even though that wasn't the case. I think Martinelli only beat Aspilicueta. I only remember him beating him once in that whole 90 minutes. Like, it wasn't like Aspilicueta got sort of exposed. I actually think he did decent. It was the fact that Chelsea could not keep the ball. Arsenal dominated the game. And one thing I want to bring up to you is, and I've realized this with Arsenal's games against like the sort of the better teams. You guys dominate teams, but you don't pepper teams. And what I mean by that is you outplay them without creating that many chances. I know you mentioned some of the chances that you created, but even in like the first half, the Jesus chance was the real sort of clear-cut chance that he created. And even then, people were berating him for missing it. But if we're being real, the balls come at him very quickly. It was very hard for him to have the time to set his head and actually direct the header. That ball from Martinelli came at him with so much pace. So I think it was a bit harsh to criticize him so much for missing chance. And in the second half, obviously the goal, 9 times out of 10, that goal probably, you go again. Like 3 Chelsea man missed the ball. Obviously the Odegaard chance.
That goal was funny.
The Odegaard chance, yes, he should do better. But
not bag that, bro.
Overall, what I would,
Odegaard's got to score that, man.
Nah, he has, and we've spoken about like that's probably the one weakness in his game is he's sort of. It's with him. It's not even his ball striking. I think he strikes the ball well. It's his placement of the ball. He doesn't pick the right corners.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Or when he does pick the corner, it's off target.
For me, he had an average game. He didn't play that well. He worked hard, but he didn't really offer anything up front. But then again,
I thought the players that had like really really good games. I thought it was obviously Saliba and Gabriel. I give Gabriel credit. Obviously, I've been critical of him, but he played well yesterday. Saliba obviously was man of the match, which I thought he deserved. Jesus, I spoke about Aubameyang not wanting the smoke. Jesus wanted the smoke. Jesus was backing into defenders and was actually playing like a focal point for Arsenal. Anytime you guys sort of needed a little bit of a way out, Jesus was there, made his presence felt, backed into Thiago Silva and Chalobah for fun, and held the ball up well. That's what a striker's supposed to do, not just drift out wide because you're not getting any joy in the physical battle against the centre backs. Xhaka and Partey I thought were brilliant as well.
Yeah, Partey was Partey was immense.
I think they were both probably like shocked as to how much space they were getting in that midfield, man.
We weren't getting pressed, my guy. Chelsea looked tired. These men had time, bro. They could have put the ball down, tied their laces, and carried on like pure time. And then even with the time, we were still doing up 1-2 touch passing in that middle. The tiki taka was looking nice. I can't lie.
I just think that Chelsea. I mean, Havertz. They played Havertz in the 10 yesterday. I said, was it last week when we spoke about him? I said he's not a 10. He almost has the Donny problem, even though I even think he's better than Donny. He might.
Havertz is better than Donny. Let's be real.
He might be, but
no. Havertz is better than Donny, man. Don't violate, man.
No. But he has that sort of problem. Like he's not a number 10. You saw him yesterday in that position. He looked lost. Mason Mount played out wide yesterday. He's not a winger, or he's not even.
I think he looked lost because none of the Chelsea players were linking up. They looked like there was no game plan.
But see, this is the thing. As the 10 though, he's supposed to be that sort of. He's supposed to be the guy who's the most composed on the ball. He's supposed to be the link guy. He's supposed to be the guy tying the play together.
Yeah, in our half and our final third, but because Chelsea were not even getting into our half like that, enough, he wasn't getting on the ball, which limited their creativity going forward.
I understand that, but I think the fact that he got subbed for Conor Gallagher quite early, that tells you need to know about how he played in the 10 yesterday.
I hear that. Obviously, Chelsea fans, let me know what you think. Is it a crisis or is it just a little glitch? I mean, we have to remember they're missing Fofana, they're missing Koulibaly, they're missing Reece James, and then that's a complete different game, to be honest. because obviously we didn't play well in attack. I'm not saying we would have lost, but it probably would have been a draw. Probably would have been a 0-0. Um, but I can't that corner, man. I just can't. That corner was so. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen Arsenal's goal, please watch that goal. It's the worst goal you're gonna see this year.
You
Um,
know what's mad? It would have been a decent goal if Gabriel didn't touch it in because Saka would have scored it.
yeah, Saka, Saka would
That
have
was
scored it.
going
It was
in.
going in, but
Yeah,
that is terrible. The ball was so flat,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
coming in at mad pace, and it's just like
And
how has it
everyone's
gone
missed
through
it.
two defenders and the keeper?
Yeah.
Nah, Potter would have been vexed, but end of the day, I'm not bothered. It wasn't a great performance, but I couldn't care less, bro. I could not care less. Clean sheet away from home, gone to bridge, dominated proceedings, won the game. Put City asked us the question, and we've replied. And I never thought, I know it's still early days, but I never thought we'd be on this level. I never thought that I would be in a position where I'm hoping City drop points to benefit my weekend, bro. That's never me. That's Liverpool and City doing their thing. I'm usually wanting Spurs and United to drop points. I'm not even Chelsea, to be honest, because Chelsea are normally clear overs as well. It's normally just Liverpool. I mean, it's normally just Tottenham and United that I'm needing to drop points. And what's happening? Madness is happening. If we can beat Wolves and go into the World Cup top of the table, bro, telling you, man, I'm gonna have a good Christmas, G. I'm gonna put on like 2, 3 stones, bro. Car. Every day is gonna be a good day, and like obviously January window, pretty much straight after the World Cup, players have to be attracted to seeing Arsenal first. Players have to be attracted to see Arsenal with an actual process. Players must be attracted to see a young manager who is not like it's not the Ancelotti. He's not the that kind of type where he's going to be like strict and have one theology and there for a couple of years. Arteta, realistically, if things carry on the way they are, he's probably going to be here for a good while. Um, and there was that. I know it's not a trophy, but in his first 150 games, he's won more matches than any other Arsenal manager. This is a guy, bro, that people were screaming to get sacked in his first couple months. This is a guy, bro, that bottled top four in the last few weeks. This is a guy, bro, that had our worst what's it called? Record of losses in a row a couple years ago.
You know the funny thing, like you gotta give it to Arteta. He has been through the mud. I remember when he was being called the tapas Pulis, the paella Pulis, the Christmas Day Pep. Nah. No, Arteta's he's been through the mud and he's come out of it. He's washed himself off, man. It's good to see.
No, it's good to see. And I'll be real. I'm not gonna be a fake Arsenal fan. I'll be honest. I wanted him gone. I didn't believe in him. I thought he was too inexperienced. I thought his player management was poor. I thought his tactics were all over the place. And I thought his recruitment was horrendous. But bro, last season proved me wrong. I know we didn't get the top four, but we still had a good campaign. We had some good moments. Um, but yeah, man, he's proved me wrong. Arteta, I'm sorry. Hats off to you. I wish you many more games in charge, my guy. Many more games in charge. But yeah, the last game that we witnessed on the weekend in the top six was Liverpool and Spurs, and I watched the game. Liverpool first half, or Liverpool Spurs that came out second half, as they have been doing. I don't understand what Conte is on. I don't get it. Well, I don't know if it's Conte. I don't get if it's the players. Why are you waiting to go 2, 3 goals down to turn up in games? What? Start like that. I don't. You're at home. Start like that. This is the best time to get at Liverpool. This is wheelchair Van Dijk. This is one leg Trent Arnold. You get me? This is handicap Fabinho. This is walking stick Henderson. This is mental issues Robinson, bro. I don't understand, bro. Everyone was there for the taking, and they crumbled. I wanted Spurs to drop points, to be honest. So I don't mind. But they had many, so many people not on their game, and they still let Liverpool win. They still made Salah look like he was the Salah that Liverpool signed in the first season. Diabolical. That header is a disgrace. What are you doing? This is the guy that Southgate's calling up over Ben White. You know, this is that guy, my guy. Nah, man. This is the same guy that's getting called over tomorrow. You know. But yeah, I don't know if you saw the game. What was your take on the game, and what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, just to kind of, echo some of what you just said. I mean, the ironic thing is, you say it's the perfect time to play Liverpool. I could argue it's the perfect time to play Tottenham. Did you see the starting lineup for Tottenham?
Bro, they played 8-1-1.
Exactly. Like
They
Perisic was
played Perisic in cam. They
up
played the left
front.
back in cam.
Yeah, Perisic was up front. When I saw the starting lineup, I thought, oh yeah, my prediction's gonna be wrong. Like, there's no way Tottenham are gonna leave here today with a draw. Like Liverpool are gonna put them in a spliff. To be fair, I mean, speak about Salah, that might be one of the most complete 45 minutes. That might be the most complete 45 minutes that I've seen him have in a Liverpool shirt. And when I mean complete, I mean like everything he did in that first half was just like flawless. Like his touches, his decision making, his passing, his runs. Like I'm very critical of him in the sense that I don't think, as much as he gets like a lot of numbers and stuff, he's never been very technically consistent to me. I've always felt like his dribbling and his close control and his touch is very inconsistent.
Mm.
But in the first half yesterday, he was in rhythm. He was different. The first goal was brilliant. That the touch, the finish was brilliant.
Oh, you prefer
And
the
the
first
second,
goal, yeah?
uh,
You prefer the first goal or the second goal?
I mean, it depends because the first goal was a team move. The second goal was obviously was a mistake, but the dink was,
The dink was dirty, bro.
yeah,
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 the dink was dirty.
the dink was different. But the mad thing is, after Liverpool scored the first goal, Tottenham should have actually equalised. Perisic had a header. Well, in fact, I'm not even sure if he headed it, but it hit Allison and hit the post. And then the game drifted for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then Dyer made that mistake. That mistake was such a killer at that time as well because it came a few minutes before half time. So they came out in the second half, and once Kulusevski came on, I've been
Game
saying
changed.
it. People people want to be shouting about Star Boys, and people forget that Kulusevski is only 22 years of age, and
No, he's
he's
a baller
better than
still. I
most of
wanted
these
him at
guys.
Arsenal. I wanted him at Arsenal. He's a baller.
Kulusevski is a very good player, and they've missed him. Having Richarlison, Son, and Kane as a front three isn't ideal because there's no balance there. Nobody, apart obviously Harry Kane drops in deep and can pass, but nobody has what Kulusevski has, and that's not just the ability to receive the ball on the half turn in pockets of space, but
Mm.
also to carry the ball, to dribble as well. And Kulusevski has all of it. He's not the most explosive, but with what he can do, he does extremely well. And they've missed him for the past, I don't
Yeah,
know, is it 4 to 6
he's
weeks?
efficient. He's efficient. He's not
Um,
mad. He's not pacey, but he's efficient on the ball.
yeah. And bro, dare I say, in the end, Tottenham should have got me my 3 points, bro. They should have equalized in that second half. They had decent chances. Longley has to score that free header he had. The flick, they had a ball in where Kane flicked it to the back post, and you had Bentancur and I think Eric Dyer running for it, and they both missed it. In the end, bro, they probably should have won the game. Liverpool
No,
really let
Tottenham
the
should have won,
game
man.
drift.
Tottenham should
I
have
mean,
won every day.
not won, but they should have drawn. Like
No, I think they
Liverpool
should have won
really. You think they should have won?
because Dyer shouldn't have made that mistake,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
and
fair
Tottenham should
enough.
have been more clinical. So yeah, they should have won.
Yeah, I think Liverpool really just let the game drift in the second half. They didn't really have too many chances on the counter, like they probably should have with Nunes and Salah up front. Um, and yeah, man, I just think that Tottenham, like you said, why do they wait to go behind before sort of displaying a bit of urgency? And honestly, bro, I think it's Conte, bro, because
It
I
must be
think
Conte. He must be
they,
telling him to start negative,
not that he tells them to start negative, but because
bro. No, no,
they
no, no.
no
Come on,
no
my
because
guy.
the way
Man's
their way of
playing nine
playing
defenders,
because
G.
their way of no, but because the way they play is to absorb pressure and then hit teams, because that's their default way of play. That's his
No, I
default
can't
way
lie
of
though.
playing. That's
That
that's what
squad
happens. So
selection,
then when they go, when they then concede, that game plan has to go out the window because you can't be 1-0 down but still be
yeah, and
trying to
then carry
absorb
on. Oh,
pressure and hit teams.
two things I want to say
So
there though. Like that, but Conte's squad selection and his formation, that does not give me counter attacking vibes. Still, that gives me smash and grab. And secondly, if you're noticing a pattern of you're not this is your game plan at the start, it doesn't work out, then you're having to chase the game. Would you not rather just set up differently then? Why would you still be stubborn to play nine defenders, man?
you know the thing with managers like Conte, they would rather play players that they trust, that they would rather inconvenience the team by playing players they trust than convenience the team by playing players they don't trust. So he clearly doesn't trust players like Mora, because in my opinion, Mora probably should have started yesterday. If Richarlison, Son, and Kulusevski wasn't fit enough to start, then Mora probably should start. But instead, he played guys like he played Perisic up front. Like he, like I've never seen Perisic up front, and when I saw him up front yesterday, I realized why I've never seen him up front, bro. Like the guy is just, the guy is a winger, and we can't like. There's nothing you can change at the age of 34
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would
no,
make
no.
a
That
winger
was a mad risk.
capable
When
of
I saw him
playing
in the
up
cam,
front.
I was like, yeah, Conte's been smoking that good pack. And then man had Emerson. He's still playing Emerson, bro. He's still playing
It's the
Emerson.
that's that I spend £1 million on my body tax, bro. That's what that is.
And
Jed
then there was
Spencer's not playing, bro. Your guy is not playing. He's not getting into this team.
bro Spence. I know free Spence, man. God, it's ridiculous, bro. And then he's playing Ben Davis left centre back, questionable again. Where's Tanganga, man? Where's he at?
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. I don't
He's
know.
a big physical presence. Like if you're
I
doing
don't
a
know.
back three, you need big physical man them in that back three. Man can't be having little youths like Ben Davis play left centre back. And guys, if you haven't, I beg you check Expressions' reaction to the Tottenham loss. It's on his channel. He absolutely killed me. He was absolutely roasting Conte about the formation. He said, "Why is he picking this 8-1-1 Christmas tree, negative
Yeah,
football?" A man
yeah,
said, "Yeah, this bit absolutely took me out." He said it makes no sense. It's like a Muslim signing up to the EDL.
yeah. I
EDM.
heard that. I heard that.
Yo, I was done. And the maddest thing is, don't forget, guys, this is Tottenham's best ever start. And this is the football on display, and this is the results we're seeing week in, week out. And I know they had a good start, but I think they've lost what, three out of their last five in the
Yeah,
league. And it's just, it's not looking good. The trajectory they're on is going down. And especially what's making it worse is when teams like Brighton and Newcastle are picking up points, because it just makes it
yeah,
look so much worse. I know Newcastle are not a big six team, but bro, if they carry on the way they're going, uh, we'll be calling it the Big Seven, because obviously the Conference League spot so it's still a European spot. I'm telling you, Newcastle are pushing the line, and if they carry on playing like this, because when Saint Maximin went out injured, I thought, oh, Newcastle could struggle here because he brings them forward quite a lot. What happens? Man like Almiron just steps up, to their plate. Joe Willock had another good game as well, scored a goal. Almiron scored again. Yeah, man, Newcastle looking
yeah. You know
good.
what? Let's talk about Newcastle, man. Let's talk about Newcastle, because I have been so impressed with them, and I've been impressed with how, because I like how he's handled the transfer business. If you look at the players
Trust
he's
me.
brought in,
He didn't just go for the name brands.
yeah, a lot of them. Only Guimaraes is really the only one that they signed, like that was, I mean, even though it wasn't for that much money, I think it was like 40 million or so.
Yeah.
But and obviously Isak, who we've not seen a
Yeah,
lot, but
Isak was the name brand. Isak was definitely the name brand.
yeah, but it's been guys like Trippier, Dan Burn,
Dan
um,
Burn, bro. Dan Burns come in and smirked it, fam.
yeah, Chris Wood. But also, I'm giving him credit because of the players that were already there that he seems to have improved, or he seems to be getting the best out of, such as your Willocks, your Almirons,
Mm.
your Longstaff. Um, so nah, and to be fair, yeah, to Almiron, yeah. Speaking of Almiron, because obviously he can't stop scoring right now. And obviously, there was like a running joke at the City parade
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, with Grealish.
where
Yeah, yeah.
Grealish was making fun of Mahrez, and he said that, you know, instead of playing like Riyad Mahrez, instead he was playing like Miguel Almiron. And the maddest thing is, because I've always said, yeah, when it comes to football, football is not a sport where you can really like, I'll use the term trash talk, and like trash talk is basically a term used to is a term is an American term, American sports term, where basically like you pretty much sort of you can brag about what you're going to do
Mm.
in a game, or what you're going to do to someone, like they do in boxing, like, oh, I'm going to knock you out, blah blah blah, or in basketball, they can say, oh, we're going to beat you, blah blah blah. But the thing with football is there are so many variables that contribute to a football match that you can't ever be so certain about stuff. Like, and that's why when trash talking in football occurs, more time it backfires. If you
It
remember
backfires. Yeah, trust.
when Salah when they asked when Liverpool knocked out Villarreal, and Salah said, "Oh, we want Real Madrid. We have a score to settle with Real Madrid." What happened? They got Real Madrid and they got beaten. Like, football never works like that. And it's ironic that Grealish said that joke, and Almiron has started the season like flawlessly. Like, he can't stop scoring, whereas Grealish and Mahrez are holding bench at City. Like, you see how mad football is, bro. Like, it's mad. Like, they would kill to be having a season like Almiron is having right now.
Yeah, man, definitely. And it's not even just the fact that he's scoring; it's the goals he's scoring as well. Some of them have absolutely
Exactly.
been
Yeah.
sublime. Cutting in on his left, from the right hand side. There was that outside of the foot first time volley in the box. And yeah, man, it's just looking good. And like I said to you in one of the previous episodes about my friend who's a Newcastle fan who put me onto him. 'Cause I used to watch Newcastle matches at his crib, and I used to watch Almiron, and I was like, yeah, I can see that he can run at the ball and he can give his all, but this guy can't finish to save his life, and he's just not a
Yeah.
threat. But this was 2 seasons ago, um, and the change. Even last season, he still wasn't a threat. This is why I keep screaming about Eddie Howe, because Eddie Howe's now turned him into Trossard level, I'd say, um, or or maybe even a I don't know. Trossard's a baller. So I don't know. I think they're about on the same level still.
I mean, because I don't really consider Trossard a winger, so I wouldn't like outright compare him to Trossard. But nah, he's it'll be interesting to see if he can, how long he can continue this for, because
Exactly. Yeah.
it's gotten to a stage where whenever I heard Newcastle scored, I think it's him that scored. Like, that's how informed he is. So
Yeah. No, he's making it. He's making it.
yeah, we'll see what he can do moving forward.
Newcastle charging up the table as well. It's good to see. I think they're what, they're third now. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're third.
yeah,
They're 5 points. They played more games than City and Arsenal, but they're 5 points behind City, 7 points behind Arsenal. But they haven't lost in their last five as well. They're now 1 point over Spurs, 4 points clear of United. United have a game in hand though. So yeah, Newcastle had a flying start, man. It's good to see. It's good to see. It's what we want to see. I know they've had the takeover, but it's not like they've gone and spent 400 million. I think they've spent about 140 million. Um, and when the City first had the money, in 2010, they didn't win the league straight away. They didn't mount for Champions League straight away. It wasn't that thing. It took them a couple of seasons. To be fair though, I did think their squad was poorer than the Newcastle squad that's been taken over at the time. But a lot of Newcastle fans were saying, "Oh, it's going to take 2-3 years before we're even competing for top four." But if things carry on like they are, then expectations will definitely be seen a lot quicker. And that's credit to Eddie Howe, man. I'm telling you, Eddie Howe, best British manager. And it's just crazy to think that I don't think a British manager has ever won the Prem.
Yep.
Um, I think Eddie Howe would be
English manager.
English manager. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, because obviously Ferguson was Scottish. But yeah, I think Howe will be the closest one to doing it. With the managers from England who are English that I can see at the moment. But anyway, time's going quick. We already hit the hour mark. We have discussed every single team in the top six and how they got on. So give it to me then. Who is your team of the week and who is your clown of the week? Or it can be a player of the week, and the clown can be a team or it can be a player.
Um, Player of the week. Ooh, it's a tough one because I was thinking Salah just because of how I generally perceive him and everything. Like like I said, although he's been a prolific sort of goal scorer
Yeah,
over the years, I've always still sort of had my reservations about him as a complete football player, and he dispelled a lot of those with the 45 minutes against Tottenham. But that was for 45 minutes though. In the second half, he pretty much reverted back to type. Not to say that he completely fell off in the second half, but it wasn't as flawless as the first half. I'm also thinking Jesus as well because although he didn't score, I liked the strike performance he put up against Chelsea. I like the fact that he was backing into players, holding the ball, um, at times dribbling, just being a focal point. And like just looking at him and Aubameyang yesterday, it's like it. They, neither of them scored, but Jesus showed you how you can still be or how you can still contribute to your team without scoring, and that's
trust me,
something for me
Nunes
that
take notes.
yeah, that's something for me that Aubameyang has just never had. And when he was at Arsenal scoring goals, it's something that I criticize. Whenever people try to say that, Aubameyang is this and that, I always said, but as like I said, we know attackers are judged on output, but for me, in order to be the best of the best, you have to be able to do something if you're not scoring because it's not every game you're going to score, and that's why when I think I was watching on CBS last week, Carragher, Henry, and Michael Richards and Peter Schmeichel were doing like some like demonstrations on how to mark Haaland and stuff. And when Carragher was speaking to Henry, Carragher must have said something um, like how he would mark Haaland, and he introduced the topic by saying, "Oh, Haaland could eventually surpass Henry as being the best player in the Premier League." In my opinion, I don't think so. Regardless of how many goals Haaland scores, for me, he can never surpass Henry as the best player
Yeah, I
in
get
the
what you
Premier
mean.
League.
If you're looking at it in a stats perspective, then yeah, Haaland will probably have better numbers. But if
He
you look at it
will,
in
yeah.
overall
But
performance, what he brings to
overall,
the game, obviously Henry is the best striker that's ever been in the Prem in that sense.
yeah, because bro, like even against Fulham, Haaland outside the box, bro. It's like I don't want to be disrespectful, but bro, I don't even know what it is when he's got the ball outside the box. It just looks. It's not even what it looks like. It's just what it is. It's just not.
It's
It's
awkward, isn't
just
it? It
not.
looks awkward.
It's just not good. Like, and it never amounts to anything. He can't. He can't dribble. Like, and I'm not even saying dribbling is the be all and end all, but even what Harry Kane does, Harry Kane doesn't dribble, but Harry Kane knows how to shift the ball here or there. Harry Kane has good feet here and there. Haaland doesn't have any of that. Haaland is literally just a
Knock
box
and run. He's a knock and
striker.
run and in the box merchant. But we
Yeah,
can't criticize him too much because he is 22. You know what I mean? He can those things can get added to the game when he's at 25, 26. And you have to remember Harry Kane at 22. Where was he at? On loan to Leicester or something.
yeah. No, I mean it's true, but I don't
So I hear
see
what
it.
you're saying, but at the same time, we do have to take into consideration my man is young. He's young, and we're comparing him with players that have been in their prime and come out.
You know what I would say to that? and this is the thing, like when people talk about like improvements that somebody can make to their game, a lot of the time, bro, like I've seen it. These improvements aren't gonna happen. A lot of the time, like the improvements come as a result of maybe a change in manager, maybe a change in
When you argue
system.
and say Pep's probably the best manager to be able to develop him.
As in the deficiencies he has outside the box,
Mm.
he
Do you
wouldn't.
think Pep can bring that to his game though?
He won't.
I
And do you
think
know
he
why?
will.
Do you know why he won't? Because he doesn't have to. Because that's the thing with City.
He doesn't have
City,
to now, but we know Pep likes to adapt and change.
he won't.
And
He
I
won't.
guarantee you, because Haaland is young, right? I guarantee you, when you're De Bruyne's, your Rodri's, your Mahrez, these men are coming of age and they've gone. Haaland will look like a different player. He will have to be
He won't.
unless they bring in certain players to replicate the players that are missing.
That's what
I
they'll do.
guarantee, yeah, my word, bro. If Pep stays with Haaland, Haaland will be a complete different ball player in 3 years.
He won't. He won't.
3 years, bro.
Unfortunately,
Give him 3 years.
unfortunately, he won't. And bro, this is the thing because see, see, it's like okay. I'll give you a quick example. It's like with Sterling. Before Sterling was at City, one thing people criticized was his finishing. All of a sudden, he gets to City, he gets Pep, and he scores all these goals. But bro, the mad
Just because
thing
he has
is,
more chances, though.
his finishing hasn't actually improved. But what did improve was his ability to
His,
sniff goal scoring.
his attacking positioning improved.
Yeah, his
His
positioning
finishing didn't.
and his ability to sort of sniff goal scoring opportunities. That's what improved. I remember when Pep said he just needs to improve his sense for the goal. That's how Pep described it. But Sterling's actual ball striking, his actual finishing ability, for me, did not really improve. And that's what I've realized a lot with football players. A lot of the time, things that they are not good at don't often improve. It's very rare that you will see them improve. But what can improve is other things that could contribute to a certain sort of desired outcome. So with Haaland, it's not Haaland would never be a good dribbler, bro. Like it's as simple as that. He's never gonna be able to dribble. But what what he can do is be in a team like he is at City where he doesn't need to do that. So his deficiency in not being able to dribble, if you consider that a deficiency, would never be highlighted. City are never going to be in a position, especially under Pep, where they have incompetent players on the ball outside of the striking position that they would require Haaland to become somebody that can play in tight spaces, that can receive the ball on the half turn, that can link play exceptionally. They're never going to be that team. So in my opinion, bro, he's never going to be any of these things that sort of he doesn't have in his game, which is why, for me, Henry just as a player, Haaland just can't surpass. But I know I went off topic a bit there, but
Yeah. We gotta be.
team of the week. You know, just because of the run of form they're in, I'm gonna give it to Newcastle. I mean, to you lot went to Southampton, drew. We went there. We scraped a 1-0 win. Like I know they just sacked their manager, but we can't act like St. Mary's is the easiest place to go, and they
Yeah,
handled
St. Mary's is a bogey place for us.
yeah, and they handled Southampton pretty comfortably. So I'll give it to Newcastle. My player of the week, kill me for it, but I'm gonna give it to Jesus, and that's even with Saliba getting man of the match, because I mean Saliba got man of the match without Chelsea. Obviously, he had to do what he had to do, but Chelsea weren't really sort of a potent attacking threat yesterday.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
But Jesus, for me, like if you want to ever watch how you can contribute to the team without being on the goal sheet, watch that game. Watch Jesus' performances in that game.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Then, because of time, quickly clear on the week, and then we'll get to the predictions for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Clown. It's not. And I know who you're thinking it should be.
Who's that?
Eric Diabolical. I know you're thinking it should be Eric Dyer. But
It's not even dire for me, you know.
who's yours?
It's Conte, man.
Oh man. Conte has a claim to it, but you could argue the sort of the resurgence in the second half, could that sort of ease him out of that?
No, because they still lost.
um,
And that's 3 games in a row where they've been chasing the game, trying to get late comeback wins. It's not gonna bang every time. They got the late comeback wins in the Champions League and their match last week, but it's just not gonna happen every time, man.
you know what? Clown of the week. You know what? I'm sorry to do this. I'm gonna give it to Aubameyang. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, Aubameyang gets clown of the week. I'm sorry, but the whole promo thing, they tried to do like the whole little media thing. They tried to do the media build up for the
They set him
game.
up, you know.
Aubameyang saying, "Oh, don't take it personal" and all
Nah, they
that.
set him up. Those
Only,
producers knew Aubameyang was not doing nothing in that game, and they made him look like an absolute mug. They knew.
only for him to throw up a 1 out of 10 in the game yesterday. He pretty much had a Lukaku type of performance.
I mean, he had no
Um,
service though. You have to remember, he didn't get one. He did not get one chance to score. I don't even think he shot.
you're right, but also he didn't.
Yeah, I
He
know, like
wasn't.
you said, Jesus didn't score but got involved in the game.
Yeah, he
I hear
wasn't
that.
good
But
either.
Aubameyang's 30 what, 33. He's not gonna be doing what Jesus is doing right now.
But what I'm thinking also is he should have that fire in his belly. He needs to be trying to show Arteta like, yo, you were wrong to get me to throw me out of here. Yeah, Arteta wins again. Like when Arteta dropped him for that for that London derby, I think it was 2021 season, because he came in late and he won. Arteta won. Arteta got rid of him. You guys kicked on without him. Arteta won. Today again. I mean, yesterday again. He went to Chelsea. Supposed to come back to haunt you lot. He played the game and got hooked. Arteta wins again.
You know, people are forgetting, yeah, that Aubameyang could all along be a secret agent for Arsenal because he helped us with the clean sheet. So don't forget that as well. That's what people forget. You get me? But now moving on quickly onto the predictions. Arsenal Brighton. What's your score prediction for that? That's on Wednesday at the Emirates.
Nah, yeah, you guys should beat them. But I'll say 2-1 though. I think they'll probably
2-1, yeah.
try and give you a game. Yeah,
Because I think
2-1.
I think Arteta's gonna focus on Wolves and finishing first for the World Cup. I think he's gonna rotate the team very heavily. And I don't think we're gonna play that well. And I actually think Brighton are gonna win that. Um mm, but at the same time I don't want to be predicting my team to lose. So I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna say
But
1-1, yeah.
there's no draws in the cup, bro.
Huh?
There's no draws in the
Yeah,
cup.
go straight to pens, innit? But we're
So
just doing
who wins on pens? You
we're just
lot.
doing 90 minutes. We're just doing up to 90 minutes.
All right, cool.
Pens is too unpredictable, man. That's flipping a coin. I can't predict that. Forest Spurs. Forest at home.
Forest beat Spurs probably 1-0 Forest.
1-0 Forest, yeah. I think Spurs are gonna bounce back and be like, no, we're getting made a mockery. Let's make a statement here. So I'm gonna say 3-1 Spurs. Liverpool derby.
4-0.
I'm saying derby 2-1 still.
Wait, at Anfield.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm saying derby 2-1.
No, if you're right, you should get.
One.
If you're right,
The reason I'm saying this is
you know the same way you said when I predicted. Huh?
what did you say?
I
What
said,
did you
you know
say?
when I predicted Ajax Liverpool 3-3, and you said that if I'm right, I should get double points. If Derby beat Liverpool, you should get double.
Yeah.
As
You know
in,
why I think
if they beat them that scoreline, you should get double points.
yeah, 100. You know why I think Derby have a chance? One, Klopp never takes the Carabao Cup seriously. I think he did a little bit last season,
You did last
but
season.
he usually does not take the Carabao Cup seriously. And I think because of the injury crisis that he's going through, and the league is definitely the focus now, and he'll want to win his last game before every manager wants to win their last game before the World Cup. I think he's going to concentrate on the league. I think he's going to play an absolute C D team on Wednesday. And I think Derby are going to be pumped up. It's the only time they're going to get to face Premier League opposition, except for the FA Cup. And
But
I think they're going to go for it. I think Derby are going to absolutely go for it. They're either going to get absolutely slapped 4-0, or they're gonna win the game 2-1.
but you know what though, as as true as that may be, Klopp knows that. But due to the fact that Liverpool aren't where they're supposed to be, now that they're picking up wins, he probably needs to keep that going. He needs to get his team back
Into a winning state of mind. Yeah, I
in
get
mode
that.
of winning. Yeah, so I think
I get that, but
although he would rotate, I still think he would ensure that he has a couple of his first teamers, maybe 2 or 3 in there, maybe
yeah,
even
no,
4 or 5.
that's what I'm saying. It'll be a C squad. There'll be a couple first teamers in there, but I can imagine a heavy rotation.
Yeah,
They
you
got
know what? 3
Southampton
0
on the
3 0
weekend.
3 0 3 0.
3-0. You change it to 3, yeah. Man's getting shook.
Nah, 3
Um,
0. I still think they'll beat them comfortably. 3 0.
3-0, yeah. All right, cool. All right, last game then is City Chelsea. That's at the Etihad. Actually, no,
Chelsea,
that's not
I
the last
mean,
game. That's not the last game. Sorry.
City will beat Chelsea.
You reckon?
2-1.
2-1. All right, cool. So we've got City 2 and 2-1. Me, yeah, I can't see Chelsea winning that. To be fair, it's looking peak right now for them. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 2-0 City. And then lastly, Man United Villa. That's at Old Trafford on a Thursday.
2-0 United.
2-0 United. I think I genuinely think Emery's gonna do it again, but I don't think it's gonna be as heavy as 3-1. Um, I think you guys will score, but I think it'll be actually no, I think it's gonna be a draw. I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna say 1-1. I think it's gonna be a draw. I think that's going to pens, especially because you got Anthony Sancho out. I don't know if Marshall. Do you think Marshall's gonna be fit to play that?
A part of me feels like he might play him um just to get some minutes under his legs.
If he's not fit to start, I'm concerned about where the goals are gonna come from. Because
Yeah, I
Villa are
mean,
gonna be up for
Ronaldo
this.
could start.
Ronaldo could start, but Villa are gonna be up for this. They know they just beat you guys. They know that they can beat you guys. They've got a new manager. They're gonna be working hard to impress him. Villa are gonna be up for this game much more than you guys.
We'll
I don't
see.
think you guys have that motivation for this game. It doesn't matter.
I hear it. Yeah, these games are they're full at very weird times. It's a bit kind of difficult to predict them.
Yeah, that's because the super packed fixture list in October we managed to get through. I'm just surprised that as an Arsenal fan we managed to get through so unscathed because we had 3 teams in the top 6: Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, and we've handled all of them. And not just handled all of them with draws, we've beat all of them convincingly as well. So yeah, all props to Arteta. Guys, we'll be back Friday, either 9:30 them times there. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think. Let us know who you think your team of the week is, your player of the week, your clown of the week as well. Also, and as well, let us know what you think about the Jesus Nunes debate. Um, for me personally, you can clearly see if Nunes doesn't score, he doesn't really offer anything to the game. But you see the difference when Jesus does. And also let us know who you think is the better manager, Potter or Eddie Howe. For me, it's Howe. But let us know what you think. And let us know who you think is gonna get knocked out of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday and Thursday. But yeah, obviously it's been your favourite gunner with man like Matt. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Hopefully by Friday,